Okay, so this meeting is being recorded and it's my personal effort, repeating again, and disclaimer is that my personal views, my personal observation about how people approach different, the interview process, the job attaining process, and the thing is that working in UK, especially as IMG, once you start your job, even after that, there are certain things which we don't sometimes, give much importance. For example, the communication skills. For us, we are not, I'm not saying that we are bad in communication, but we are not taught the way we have to highlight our strengths, the way we have to highlight our selling points. So I will just meanwhile give a bit of background for myself, and because still people are joining, 36 participants and 33 minutes, 3 minutes over. Okay. So I am consultant histopathologist and Caesar assessor, clinical governance lead at my trust, and digital pathology lead. So before that, I was working in Saudi Arabia. So I will pass through my CV actually, which I was asking for volunteers. So, put yourself out there. Be very confident, no one is judging you. No one is, people, they say that 70% of the time, what we think that people are thinking about us, it's not about us. So people are not thinking about you that much. And we shouldn't worry about that.
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So let me start. Okay. So I have given a bit of intro. So there are few housekeeping rules. Uh, please keep your mic mute and webcams off unless asked to unmute or turn on the video. Use just chat box to ask questions. And I'll be more than happy to answer those along the way, or maybe towards the end of the session, because I'm hosting and I'm presenting also. So it is being recorded, and I might share the link, or I might put it on YouTube. And please respect everyone. So no, courteous reminder. So how do you look for the jobs, and where do you look for the jobs? For locum consultant, long-term fixed, or maybe substantive. So both NHS jobs and BMJ career have got email alerts. So sign up to those once you are, in the process towards the end of your part 2 applying, or, you have been successful in part 2 recently, and start the process as early as possible. So get the email alerts, and be very methodical, because sometimes if you are searching for a specialty doctor job, or if you are searching for a long-term locum consultant fixed, or you are searching for the substantive one, so you have to be very methodical, because search terms do not appear, and all the jobs, just be mindful, not all the jobs will appear in your email alerts. So the overall interview process, it's for the locum and substantive, it's a bit different. And of course, the substantive interviews are very, very extensive and very thorough. And I'm not saying that locum ones are not, but comparatively, the locum ones are easier to get. However, you need to take all the steps before you appear in interview. So you have to keep your CV, of course, updated till the last minute, I would say. And for even locum, please visit the panel. If you know the panel, even if it is people are known to you, you know the panel members, maybe personally or maybe professionally, but do try to make official visits to all the panel members. And even if you can't, because you are applying from somewhere distant, and these days teams interview online, or Teams or Zoom or whatever, So online interviews are very common. So try to at least contact via email. Try to at least contact via, so make a contact to the department, please, before. Even if it is your own department, show that you are interested, show that you are there for them. And you are kind of dying to get the job. So, okay. And presentation in the interview, sometimes they will ask for the presentation, sometimes they won't. And for locum, usually it's not an ask, but substantive ones, usually most of the trusts, they go for that. And I'm sorry because I thought that Saturday would be a good idea, but I got many messages that in the country, some of the countries, Saturday is a working day. So I'll try to make the series maybe on Sunday, maybe try to change the time, maybe try to accommodate the people as much as possible. So this is my motto for that. You are your own brand. So you have to brand yourself, you have to sell yourself, you have to, just put out and know your key selling points. What are your key selling points? So these were housekeeping rule, which I went through that, and finding jobs. I have, given an overview, be methodical. So how does the interview process goes? Keep your CV updated. Even if you are not going to apply for an interview anytime sooner, please keep your CV updated. And sorry about the glitch again. And visits and panel members, know how about them, and presentation for locum versus substantive. For substantive, most of the trusts will ask for a presentation. Locum, usually this is not the ask. So you are your own brand, okay? This is my favorite. So brand yourself, sell yourself. Do not exaggerate the things, the skills, the experience. I would say that you have not done something and you will say in the interview, oh, I have done so and so. No, but whatever you have done, and it depends. I'll go back to that point again, that what the what's the need of the department. So your selling points, and most of the departments would like your unique selling point, and each one of us has that. Do not think that we don't have. So I'll just give you an example that when I was coming to UK, I have worked in Saudi Arabia for 6 years and as a consultant. And when yesterday, actually, one of my Saudi, he's in the group also. So he asked that, do you want me to volunteer? He was just joking. So I said, that would be very good. Go through your CV so coming to UK, I had applied. Yes, 2 points could be there. It was COVID and people were not getting people. The departments were not getting histopathologists. So I applied to multiple places, and either I did not get an interview, offer. I got, I think, 6 or 7 trusts asked me, and I got job wherever I give interview because I'm fond of talking, and I'm fond of talking about myself. So I think the interview process is enjoyable for me. So I have been on both sides of the table. Over here also, I have been now in my trust and in the UK, previously in Saudi Arabia, and not in Pakistan. Before that, I was working in Pakistan as a consultant. So in Saudi Arabia and over here, I have been involved in interview process. And sitting on other side of table is not easy also. Uh, Please be mindful of that. Over here, I have interviewed biomedical scientists. I have interviewed for locum consultants. And I must say that it's a very enjoyable process for me, but it's stressful to sit on both sides of table. So 2, 3 tips are, people remember things in group of 3. So always remember your 3 most important selling points. Okay. And then you must get them across. So people who know me, they will say that, okay, I repeat things and I repeat things 3 times. And that is my, I would say, selling point. Talk, talk, talk. And show your CV to senior colleagues or to someone who has been through the process recently. Personally, I do place great emphasis on future potential, that where the place I'm joining, does it have some future potential for me or for the department itself? So it all depends that how much, but I will say all of us have got unique selling points. So don't think that your experience is slightly less or your selling point would be that you have got potential to, be an independent consultant very soon. Or your selling point would be that you are very collaborative with the colleagues, and you must have that examples. So you might not have that experience that much, but you must have something. Each one of us is unique, and each one of us has got a selling point. So read the job description. This is very important. So always when you are applying, most of the departments would ask for certain subspecialties. So again, I would not say that exaggerate or don't tell the truth. But if you can tailor your CV according to that, or if you can tailor your, the experience according to that. So, for example, one of the trusts, their ask was they wanted a lung lead. So over there, because I had experience, fortunately, for all the subspecialties, like most of those, apart from I think in Saudi Arabia, soft tissue was a bit less and neuro was a bit less, but it was still there. But so I tailored my CV for that trust differently and for other trusts differently. So wherever I got the offer in the interview process, they were impressed, and I brag about it. Yes, again, it is my selling point. And one of the trusts, they actually, even after I said that no, there were certain personal reasons I didn't join that trust, they came back and they said that in future, even because in future, if you want to join the trust, please do join. Why? Only because of interview, to be honest. So they said that your interview was so nice or so thorough that we would like to have you even in future. You think about our dress. So and then practice, 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 and here I have done it 4 times, and find a colleague, loved one, or a pet, and but just talk about those things. Literally, my daughter was there when I was doing a substantive interview a couple of months back. My daughter was there and sitting with, and she was telling me, actually, she's 13 now. So she was telling me that you have to say this and you have to give more gestures. So don't think that if you are doing online or on Teams, other people can't see your passion or they can't, feel your gestures. So everything you have to be. I will just go through few communication skills important. And what's the most important gambit or pickup line? Anyone can give me the definition of gambit? It's an opening move of a chess game that will create the whole rest of the game or set the game for you. So Queen's Gambit is that the queen, sacrifices the pawn for herself. So it's not, I'm smiling, it's not funny. Your first impression, I'm not saying it's a last impression, but it is very important. So 3 days back, I was in biomedical scientist interview, and 3 candidates, 3 different demeanor, 3 different decorum, 3 different styles. And the starting of one of the candidates just put them immediately, that was impression was there. So so you must, I'm not saying that do some cheeky line, but there should be something. There should be something which is again unique about you. Show your passion, show your, interest. Just one of my friends, actually, she way back, many years back, and I'm a very good storyteller also. So she was trying to apply for residency in USA. So she said that you have to, Saruna, you have to really be willing to die for it. Then you will get it. You will get the match. And she got the match. And she got the match in gynae, which is very, very difficult. So I might run out of time during this meeting, but please rejoin afterwards. I'm taking a lot of time. Okay, so panel interviews, usually they last 45 minutes to an hour, range of questions, no requirements. To be honest, for the trust, there is no requirement for all candidates to be asked similar questions. However, to be because there is a requirement to run a fair process, so most of the trusts will ask same questions, and then they will take the most fit candidate. And sometimes they can tweak a question according to the experience or according to the ask of the job. So it will be slight tweaking, but don't worry. Most of the trusts will ask same question, but it's not a mandatory requirement for the trust to ask. So some will deviate from the set list, some will focus on the specific skills and particularly experience of a certain candidate and ask the question. And sometimes for the substantive, they will go for psychometric testing for substantive posts. So this extensive panel list is for the substantive posts. However, for the locum consultants, it's usually one member of HR, one clinical lead, one medical director, and one or two, sub clinical lead of some other department. So it would be, so most of the interviews which I gave during COVID 2020, end of 2020, uh, most of the panels were 4 to 6, and most of those were, and there were different questions actually. So sometimes I was asked about the grossing specimen, how to gross a specimen. Sometimes governance were more, sometimes management questions were more. So it all, I think, depends that what's the ask of the trust. But over here, this is for substantive usually, and these are the questions, or these are the usual, their attacking points, which they will ask you. And they can, of course, the clinical leads will ask about the specific experience which is relevant to the post, and then medical directors, chief executives, chairpersons, execs. So they are not there to judge you. They are not there, like we say, that examiners are not there to fail you. They are there to help you and show your best possible potential. So it's your duty, or it's your, I would say that, uh, uh, it's you have to be very, very, very mindful for substantive, the latest finances. So I'll just give you an example that yesterday got a blog email from the, I think, chief executive or some. So they said that trust is in this much deficit for this last year, despite all the efforts. So now that this is in my memory. So if I'm going to for the interview, I can say that may not be the exact figures for your trust, may not be the exact things, but and this is usually for the substantive ones. But if you say those things in the locum considered, you are ought to impress the person. I'm saying, just mark my words that if you say, if you know about the trust, and if you know that financially what is the standing, and how much backlog is going on in the department, I would be surprised that I said how much, that if there is any, there won't be any department in UK where there is no backlog. I think so. And so if you know the numbers or approximate idea of the departmental position and those things, so you, for even for locum post, why not prepare it as substantive one? Then scoring, there will be either scoring or voting. So sometimes in scoring, they do score even after each question or after the whole interview. They scribble the things, and they will, according to your answer, they will just make some points. And at the end of interview, they will see each panel members that what was the, so sometimes there is a clear winner, sometimes there's not, sometimes two very close candidates. But believe me that that's why I say that the 6 or 7 interviews which I had done, and so whatever the system is, that was taken it as uh, you know uh, Personally, as an interviewer, I would say that scoring is more objective than voting. And however, they can go for the voting systems if the candidates are very few, and it's more subjective than objective, but both are, I would say fair. Do the research for the trust, please, and make it the best possible trust ever in the UK in your mind. And you should have an idea of NHS plans, because especially, all of the attendees of this meeting, most of us are IMGs, international medical graduates. So we don't know what's going on in the UK, and we don't know what's going on in the NHS by itself. Anyone has any idea? Again, I'm fond of asking questions also. I'm sorry, I can't give you chocolate. Otherwise, I do give mini chocolates. Those are in my office. So anyone has an idea that NHS stands where in the list of largest employers of the world? What's the position of NHS? And I'm not asking who are the others. Okay, I'll give you an idea that Walmart and Amazon are other two, higher than NHS.
I think it's
Maybe
number
top 10?
one.
It is in
Is
top
it right? In the top? Yeah.
It is in top 10. Very good. Its top, like its position is 6. Yeah, news at 4th. It was used to be 4th, but now it's I think last year it was 6th. So 3 are armies, some Chinese, Indian, and US, and armed forces related employers. And one is Amazon and one is Walmart. And health related, it is the top, and it is the first in the Europe. So this information I knew when I was applying in COVID. So I said, when they asked that why you want to come to UK, why? So I want to be a part of such a huge family, such a huge team. So these are very tiny things, and you can just drop it in your interview. That even if they are not asking, but they are asking you, okay, what is your experience and this one and that one, and just drop a line that my experience is this from India or Pakistan or whatever, like wherever you are working, or currently in the UK, I'm working over here, but I want to be part of this. Why? But I want to be part of this specific NHS trust. So know the things related to your trust or the hospital where you are applying. What's the CQC report latest? So I might be, complicating the things, but these were the things which I searched for even for the local interview. And trust board meeting minutes, this is nitty-gritty, this is too much, but this is for substantive. Financial report, whether your trust is in deficit, of course it will be in deficit, especially after COVID, the financial situation and the things. So know the things about, and these are very tiny, minor things, it appear. However, if you drop it in the locum interview, there is no way that they are not going to take you. I'm telling you. Histopathology, yes, everyone knows that we are a good histopathologist. Most of us are, comfortable doing most of the independent reporting of most of the specimens. So no one is really interested in that. You can brag about that also, of course, if you have. But if you have got, what is what makes you an outlier? So if you have not read Outliers, the book, this is highly recommended.